Alright everyone, what is up? It's your boy K Natsuki here, back at again with another new video. And today is a video that I'm pretty sure is original, as it is not a what if. Well, I mean, essentially it is, but it isn't at the same time. And it's not like the what ifs I usually make for you guys. Hold on. God. That volume's just annoying, sorry. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Sorry. This is a brand new thing I'm going to start doing called Bad Ends. I'm called the Bad Endings, or the alternate endings, as this is my alternate ending for Coraline. Now, without any further ado, let's get this started. It has been 5 years. It has been 4 years and 11 months since Coraline escaped from the other mother. As she's living a normal life, her parents neglect her more and more each day, getting more wrapped up in their work. She keeps trying to insist that they spend time with her or something, but her parents keep ignoring her. Until one day, it's her birthday. And until her birthday, as they then say, "Hey Coraline, guess what? We're going to a garden for your birthday. We're going to a garden on our way, and we're going to a restaurant on our way back from our catalog for your birthday." As she obviously knows that they go to different places to catalog every other day. As basically, she would then say, "Yay," as she would not say yay, but she'd say, "Gah, just go to your catalog and come pick me up, okay?" As they then say, "Okay, see you later, Coraline. We'll be back in about an hour." Yeah, an hour, right? Yeah. As they would say, yeah. As Coraline's mother would then say, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be back soon." As the two would leave. As Coraline would then, as we hear a knock on as 13 minutes later, we hear a knock on the door. Wybie would then, as this is Wybie or Wyborn. Coraline's nickname for him is "Why Were You Born?" As she then says, "Hello," and as she then says, "Hey Wybie, welcome back to my home. So what you want to do today? My parents should be gone for about another, 47 minutes. I'm pretty sure 47 minutes. Give or take." As he'd say, "Cool. So, wanna go outside and play in the fog?" As it would have been a foggy day, as she'd say, "Sure." as the two would rush away. As she would then say, "Oh wait, first, it might rain, so let me go get my raincoat." As she would then rush out and get her Georgie-looking raincoat. I mean, seriously. That's just literally a sign saying, "Demons, come eat me." I mean, seriously, it has been proven factual by multiple, we'll see it by multiple cinematic series, and if you do not believe me, you can look for yourself. Think about it. The entire It franchise. Georgie wears a yellow raincoat. Little nightmares. Things are always trying to kill you and eat you. You wear a raincoat. Coraline. Things are always trying to kill and eat her. She wears are always trying to get her. She wears a raincoat. I've made my point. As Coraline would basically walk out with Wybie into the fog, as they basically would go searching for banana slugs. As 30 minutes later, she would go back into her home and would just wait. As we skip 2 hours, Coraline is now in panic mode, and is now a bit panicked, as she then hears a knock on her door, thinking it's her parents. As she opens her door and says, "Where were you guys?" As she then sees one man in a black business suit, and one man in a black tuxedo, and another man, well, not a tuxedo per se, just like a business casual suit, and the other is a police officer. As the man then says, "I'm sorry to break it to you, Miss Jones, but, your parents have passed." As she would then say, "What?" As the man would then say, "2 hours ago, an hour and a half ago, your parents were coming back to your house from a garden catalog. I'm from a garden, and they got into a terrible car crash. Sadly, both of them have passed." I should then say, what? As she'd just fall on the ground as the officer would then say, "We'll, leave now. Give you some time to, think." As the two would then leave. As Coraline would then, and as we skip about a month, we skip about 2 weeks later. Now, Coraline is wearing her raincoat like usual. Now, fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but any buttons that come from the other world, the other mother can see through. And I'm pretty sure she can see through all buttons. But I think, for the time being, it's only the ones that come from her world. Okay? As Coraline would put on her regular school clothes and would walk to school. School would have begun as Coraline would have been it would have been the it would have been the second week of school, as Coraline would still have been shattered from the accident that happened 3 weeks ago. And from the accident that happened Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Or no, yeah, I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks ago. As she would just have been saddened as a bully would walk up to her, and a popular girl would walk up to her and would basically try to down her, and would try to down her spirits, as she would then, as she would say, "Hey, Dorkaline, what are you doing here, huh? Why don't you go back to that, why don't you go to that trash pit you call a home?" As another girl would then say, "Ha, burn." As she would then just look down and then think, ugh. As, well, the bully would then say, as the bully would then walk up to her because she heard Coraline under her breath say, "Why these jerks?" As the bully would rush up to Coraline and would basically throw her against a locker. Coraline would then get up, and she would say, as the bully would then say, "What'd you say, What'd you say, Dorkaline?" And she would then say, I said, jerks. I said you're a jerk." As the bully would then grab Coraline by the raincoat and by her hoodie, and would throw her against another locker, as a whole bunch of other kids would begin joining in, as the girl would then threaten, as the girl would basically be the most popular girl in the school. We all know the one. The one that has the Chloe from Miraculous personality. We all know the one. As she would have been beaten up and bloody and even knocked out. As the bully would basically rush up to her, as Coraline would then get up. Now she's still knocked out and unconscious, but something she did not notice was that one of the buttons of her hoodie, yes, her hoodie is buttoned together. Okay? Just deal with it. One of the buttons of her hoodie would have been, well, a button from the other world. As before the hand that came through the portal attacked her, and attacked Coraline, the hand would have carefully placed one button on her hoodie in case the hand could not drag Coraline back to the door. And we could not drag Coraline away. As there would have been one just small little, basically a way to watch Coraline at all times. As in this AU, as I explained, it's a AU. The 3 ghost children would not have. Allow me to explain. Basically, the 4 children would have met their ends, but not in the other world or at the fate of the other mother, making Coraline the first person that the other mother has, making Coraline the first child the other mother has actually wanted. Coraline, of course, would. Now, y'all might be wondering, wait, then there's a lot of plot holes to solve here. Like, for one, how does she how she get the ghost eyes to beat, and the Bell Dam. Allow me to, or how are, or how she see the ghosts. Allow me to explain. In the movie, as we see, all of the ghosts have button eyes, right? So therefore, in this AU, those were merely fake ghosts that were created by the other mother as a way of, well, viewing, and as a way of viewing the, or as a way of sort of using a fear tactic, as the other mother would, in this AU, actually just want a child to love. Or a daughter to love, to be exact, as, well, she of course would basically go into her terrifying mode because she was a bit cross that Coraline was not satisfied no matter what she did, as I still wanted to go home no matter what she did. So, yeah. The ghost eyes in this AU were also creations of the other mother, as she would simply have wanted to play a game with Coraline. However, Coraline, of course, would have cheated and escaped, as we all know. As she would then say, as we go back to this point of time, back to the present, as one of the buttons would begin glowing. Oh, and as one of the buttons would just begin slowly turning, as Coraline would get up. Now, the bullies, anyone else other than the people who were attacking Coraline would not see it. But Coraline would get up, as two arms would appear behind Coraline, as basically, imagine both of her eyes are closed in this picture, and she still has her normal clothes on, as the two arms would appear from behind Coraline's back, and would then grab towards the bullies, as they would then say, "Ah, freak!" And, well, as soon as the teacher would walk in, the arms would go away and Coraline would have been knocked out. Now, we skip a couple of weeks later, as everyone in the school would have thought of Coraline as a demon, or a monster, as kids who were basically working for the one popular girl pretended to be friends with YB to even make him think that Coraline was a freak. Now, I know in canon this would never happen, but this is my AU, so deal with it. Okay? As she would say, and as basically Coraline would now have no friends. She would be truly alone in this world. And each day, when she would get to the school, they would beat her up more and more to try and kill, as they would say, quote unquote, kill the demon. Or kill the freak, kill the monster. Now, you all might be wondering, wait, how exactly did those arms appear? Well, as I explained, in this AU, the other mother only wanted to love and care for Coraline like an actual daughter. And, well, imagine you watching your child and seeing bullies beating the crap out of her. Admit it, you'd be pissed and want to kill them. As basically that was the other mother trying to, and that was the beldam trying to protect Coraline. Okay? As, well, we go back, as, now, of course, basically Coraline would be walking to school, as right now, it is 5 months since it has been 5 total years since Coraline escaped. As Coraline would be basically with her, and would basically be alone, as she'd then say, "Time for school. Isn't that right, Mom? Dad?" As she would be looking at 2 photos, and she'd say, Yeah, you're right, I better not be late." As she would grab her hoodie, her backpack, and her book bag, and all the other required items, as she would then walk out the door, or to where there was a bus. She would walk in the bus and would leave to go to school. As we skip, as basically when she got to school, however, and even on the bus, people would begin giving her death threats and glares, as people would try to kill her. Now, now, Coraline would have been terrified of these and would one day have gone over and after this day was over, she would have gone over the edge, as she would basically go into her room and cry and bawl her eyes out, as Coraline would then say, "I really need a parent. I really need someone now, and I don't care who." As she would then get an idea. Someone who could understand her. Someone who cared for her. As Coraline, also in this AU, Coraline did not drop the key, and the key did not go down the well. Okay? As Coraline would basically go to the drawer with a whole bunch of things in it, as she would then open the drawer and see the one key with the button on it. As she would then close her eyes and think about it, as she would then say, "I don't care. I need to go. I don't care. I just need someone, anyone." As Coraline would grab the key and would rush and would basically walk over to the small wooden door. As she would unlock the door, and she basically would grab the key, put it in the keyhole, and unlock the door. As Coraline would then see the portal, and basically would see the wormhole like normal, or the giant rainbow tunnel that's basically moving. As she would then say, "Here I go." As she would then walk in, as she would then basically would take her first step in the portal and would enter. As she would enter the portal, as the door behind her would then close, as she would have one second thought and would think, "No, I need someone anyone, and I don't care if it's her. As she would walk all the way over to the other side of the tunnel, as the tunnel going in is actually extremely short, while the tunnel going outward is a very long. As well, Coraline would enter through this area and would enter through the small door, as she would hear just a person humming, and she could hear someone sadly humming and basically walking around and cleaning things. As the Coraline would then basically breathe as the door and as the floorboard, no. As Coraline would then shut the door and it would make a tiny creaking noise. As suddenly a person would basically walk out and see Coraline right there. Now this person, if you haven't guessed, is the beldam. As she would then say, Coraline? As she'd then say, you, Coraline. As she would then say, for 5 years, I've dreamt of you. I've watched you. I've felt for you. I learned of more about you. As the beldam would then rush over to Coraline and would say, I'm so sorry about what happened to your other parent. What happened to your, biological parents. As Coraline would then say, it's okay. As the beldam would then say, why are you here? As Coraline would then say, I've been, having some rough times. I've been having rough times, and I just needed someone. As the beldam would then say, poor Coraline, I'm so sorry. Would you like to talk about it? As she would then say, yes. As Coraline would begin to cry and would rush over and hug the beldam. As she would then say, there. All that matters is you're here, safe, away from all the harms and terrors of the world, and of that world. As she would then say, so, what's been happening? As Coraline and the other mother and the beldam would sit down, as Coraline would then tell her all about everything that's been happening. As the beldam would basically rush over to Coraline and would hug her tightly, as she would say, I'm so sorry you had to go through all of that. And, of course, I would be 100% happy to take care of you. As the beldam would then say, however, I have one request that I'm sure you know of very well by now. As Coraline would then say, I accept. As the beldam would then look at Coraline and would then say, you what? As should then say, I accept. I completely accept. And I do not care whatever you will do to me. I just need someone right now. As the beldam would then say, of course, dear. As she would then say, so, what color would you like, dear? As the two would walk over to a sort of kitchen area, and would walk over to a dining table, as Coraline's mother, and as the beldam would then say, I have, as I've explained, and you can have any color you want. As Coraline would then say, would black and would dark blues fit? I should then say, of course. After all, it matches your hair. As should then say, alright, just sit down here, and I'm not going to lie to you, it will hurt just a teeny bit. As just a bit. As the build, as Coraline would basically sit down, and the beldam would then grab a pair of dark blue buttons and a needle and a roll of thread. As she would then say, I'm truly sorry of what happened, dear, to your real parent, and to your parents in the normal world. As Coraline would then say, it's okay. After all, I have no one left, so I only need you. As the beldam would then smile and would say, that's the spirit. Even when you're in a bad situation, think about the positive. And even when you've gone through so much, you always think about the positive. As the beldam would, as we skip 10 minutes later, and a minute later, as she would then say, and as the beldam would then say, you look so perfect. Don't you think? Don't you think so? As she would say, yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. As she would then say, good. Now I'll prepare you some dinner. As the beldam would then say, it's chicken. Alright, here is your chicken and gravy, along with mashed potatoes. As should then say, the meal you gave me the first time. Remember? As the beldam would then say, exactly. I just want to remind you of the happier times. After all, you've gone on through so many bad things. I think it's best to remind you of the happy times. As Coraline would then say, yeah, I think so too. As Coraline would then say, so, you have any, so, could you make me have you made me a new outfit, or, as she would then say, oh, yes, in fact, I made you an outfit which, well, unless you want it to, it won't change. It won't get dirty, or anything like that. And it won't break, of course. As she would then hand Coraline a shirt that was, well, dark blue with light blue stars and with white stars on it. As she would say, sorry, it took me 30 minutes to sew. Oh, and it took me 30 minutes to knit. As Coraline would then hug the beldam and would say, thank you, Mother. As a tear would then come from the beldam's eye, should say, I like that, daughter. As, well, Coraline would walk up to her room as the beldam, as well, we skip 10 minutes because I'm not going to get into Coraline dressing. As Coraline would basically walk down and would basically walk into her room and would basically walk down from her room into basically the house or living room, as the beldam would then say, you look so beautiful. As Coraline would then say, thanks, Mother. As the beldam would then say, so, would you like me to? So, it has come to my understanding that you will be living here for quite a long time, and, well, you know how kids are. They always change their likes. They always change from what they like, what they know, what they listen to, and all that type of stuff. I should then say, so, I was actually thinking of teaching you how to make your own creations, or make your own things. Manipulate this world on your own. As Coraline would then say, that would be wonderful. As the beldam would then say, excellent. Now just, come over here. Now this may be a bit more painful. However, it's only to make knitting and creating things a bit easier. Okay? As she would say, hopefully you won't mind, hopefully you won't mind going into another, having a giant appearance change. As Coraline would then say, not at all, Mother. As she would then say, hey, very well then. As, oh dear, as the beldam would basically begin changing Coraline, as we skip 1 hour later, as we see a metal hand with sharp dagger-like claws on it, has 4 fingers, basically you get up from a chair of sorts. As we see a woman, as we see Coraline, who now looks like this, get up. As, by the way, she does have four legs. Just, you know, the four legs can kind of, how can I explain this? Just for it to being less creepy. The four legs can combine, as in, like, two of the four legs can combine to make one leg, and the other two can combine to make another leg, if she wants to. Basically, the, four-leg thing is only for chasing or running purposes, okay? As Coraline would then say, "Thank you, Mother." As she would then smile, as the beldam would then say, "Of course, daughter. And of course, Coraline. I would like nothing more than to see my daughter be happy. Now, I'm going to teach you how to make a cat, and how to make a animal. You can choose." As Coraline would then say, "Well, if we're going to make something, why don't we start small? How about a mouse?" I should then say. "Alright, just, come over here and just follow me to the study." As Coraline would then walk up the stairs, and would begin her training. So that's where I'm ending this part off. Hope y'all have enjoyed part 1 of my Coraline AU. Tomorrow is another AU. Tomorrow or later today is another AU. As I'll begin doing these sort of alternate endings. And these sort of alternate ending series, and I hope y'all will enjoy them. Okay? Peace, and, well, yeah, goodbye. And, skidoo.